All right, you're checking out the Rye Bread and Mustard that Down on the Docks on the other side of the tracks, 5-star dive bar, POD, about the Mariners. You know the show, that ridiculous one. You know, where we're going to keep doing this until the Seattle Mariners actually win the World Series. So hopefully this is my last season of doing this podcast. Anyways, we are down here at the Big A, Angels Stadium, just walking out after the extra inning loss to the Anaheim Angels. We started the series off with an extra inning win. Then, of course, we had the Joe Adell game in Game 2. And then we have today's 8-7, 11-inning loss to the Angels. We're going to be talking about that and more right here on the Rye Bread and Mustard and Mariners podcast. All right, if you're checking this out on YouTube, you can see me. I'm here in an almost empty Angels Stadium, the Big A. I got Steve from Huntington Beach, Hippie Steve, right here off onto the side. What's going on, Steve?
Not too much.
You got to be feeling good. Opening weekend for the Angels?
I'm shocked that we won the last 2 games, really, to be honest.
I'm not. The Angels give us problems no matter what. I don't know how many... Gosh, I'd really have to just go back through my metadata, and even before that, maybe look at some pagers, maybe look at some emails, seeing how many games I've come to the Angel Stadium since I went to college down here too many years ago to mention here on the pod. Walk-offs from Garrett Anderson to whoever did this today. I don't even know their name. I have an incredibly terrible record down here at the Big A.
Well, I have a memory in 1995 of the Angels blowing a huge lead they had in the division and lost a tie-breaking game to Randy Johnson and the Mariners on the Monday after the season ended on Sunday.
Yes, thank you for cheering me up. That's a good friend. Thank you for bringing that up. But look, the Mariners played the Angels this weekend in their opening weekend. The crowds were here. The team was charged up. It's the beginning of the season. We started off the series pretty good here for the Seattle Mariners. Not exactly what you wanted to see with the bats, but they take care of business, and just the pitching from Bryan Woo and the bullpen in Game 1 was excellent. Excuse me, that was Game 2. Game 1, prior to that, we also had great pitching. The Mariners have just had great pitching this entire season, except for today's game. Luis Castillo here in Game 3 got that pitch count up, had to get into the bullpen earlier here in Game 3. Ferrer, one of the guys that Hanno, my co-host, is going to hold me accountable for. I was happy to have him. Couldn't really hold on to the lead there, but the Mariners defense was not top-notch here in Game 3.
No, it wasn't, but long season.
It is, yeah. I mean, right away we got Leo Rivas. I know he's in there playing third base for Donovan, but we've seen this all throughout the season, all 10 games. We haven't seen the clean plays, the plays that maybe we thought were routine at third base, and we've mentioned this before. You go back before this, we had Eugenio Suarez, and as much as Josh Rojas was terrible at third base, he was good. And let's not forget Ben Williamson, who was here last year, elite defender. And then we're going into Kyle Seager. And then we're going farther back into Adrian Beltre territory. The Mariners have had, and the Mariners fans have had, this luxury of watching things happen over at third base being automatic. We saw earlier in this game a ball get hit to Rivas, got away with him. Angels score. We also saw a throw from J.P. Crawford that should have been a third out that turned into another run here in the game. So you look at the difference in this series. Both teams pitched good when they needed to. Both teams wiggled out of things when they needed to. They got big hits. The difference was the Angels' defense looked a lot better than the Mariners' defense in this series. I think that was a big difference.
Yeah, it looked good. the Angels have a revamped pitching staff this year, and although I'm not that confident that after everyone's had a look at them after a couple months, they'll be the same, but they seem to be holding up right now.
Yeah, and against the Mariners lineup that is built to score some runs, but we're going 10 games into the season now. We're at the 10-game mark, okay? So
The irony is the Mariners, the one thing that they need to do is win games without hitting home runs. They're not hitting home runs, and they're not necessarily winning games that they might otherwise win.
I mean, no home runs. Let's just talk about it. Cal Raleigh, after 10 games, no home runs. Julio Rodriguez, after 10 games, no home runs. Josh Naylor, no home runs. Randy Arozarena, no home runs. Cole Young, 3 home runs. Okay, Luke Raley, 3 home runs. Dom Canzone's got a couple. So all the guys that you'd expect to be driving and slugging the ball in obviously have not. Cal Raleigh has a lot of pressure, I think, on him right now. We've seen Julio Rodriguez. Seems like he's definitely pressing. He had that line out where he hit the ball pretty cleanly. I think he hit it out to Mike Trout, line drive, bases loaded earlier onto the game. And you could see Julio really get upset there. I don't know if they got that on the TV side, but they all seem like they're definitely pressing. We did see Cal with the bloop single, and then Julio, I mean, to his credit, has had 2 clutch singles this year in the 9th inning to push the game into the 10th inning. Both have been contributed in losses. Nothing you can do about that, but a slow start to the Mariners offense this year, and then finally you run into a game where the pitching isn't going to back you up, and that's where we are here with Game 3.
So the next time the Angels play the Mariners, is Trout going to get plunked again?
Yeah, let's talk about that. You said what when you saw Trout? Well, we got the street sweeper right here, so we'll let them do their business. We'll just talk over it. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of ambiance here in the parking lot, right?
True that.
We're bringing it to you raw. We're bringing it to you live and direct right here. We got the Anaheim's. You know, they do keep this parking lot clean, I will say. I've been in some other parking lot. This is no Oakland Alameda Stadium parking lot. But yeah, let's go back to Mike Trout. He got plunked the other night. He got the ball thrown pretty much inside to him all series.
I have to believe that in the first inning of Friday night's game, when they threw Mike Trout's head,
that was Woo in Game 1.
And then when they hit him on the next pitch, you have to wonder, was that intentional? Was that to get in Mike Trout's head? Was that to set the stage for the season? Because that's what they do to Mike Trout. That's what the Mariners do. That's what other teams do. They throw at him and try to get in his head. They so he won't stand in, and they try to take away his confidence.
Well, they definitely were pitching him inside this entire series. I mean, maybe that's what the scouting report is on him. But yeah, you were saying when he almost got hit. Let's go just to Game 1 when he got plunked. You were saying something about Phil Nevin. Remember Phil Nevin,
Phil
guys?
Nevin, somewhere, Phil Nevin was cursing the Angels for not retaliating properly. And then today, he probably wasn't very happy again.
Yeah, I mean, today's game, he ended up having to leave the game. You did see his spot come up later in the game in the 10th inning, or 11th inning, excuse me. Ended up not hurting them. But as far as Mike Trout leaving the game, we don't know right now, standing out here in the parking lot, what that injury is. No idea. And we also don't know what happened to Andres Munoz yet at the time of the recording. Sorry, we just don't know. But he ended up finishing that inning, and Matt Brash coming back out in the last inning. And then you had to see Spire again here in the the second inning, which is the 11th inning. Sorry, it's been a long day of extra innings here. But as far as, Game 1, Woo. Pitching inside, but Bryan Woo, to me, as far as this season so far, even going back to last season, he keeps proving over and over that I believe he's the Mariners' top pitcher. I know that Logan Gilbert got the opening day start again. Hopefully down in Texas, we're going to see the Logan that should be our ace. We have not seen that yet, but in this series right here, 2 pitchers that stand out to me as far as starting pitchers, obviously, Brian Wu on Friday night, also followed by a great bullpen performance. And then in game 2, Hancock leaves one over to the plate to Zach Nato. Was that his name? Leadoff hitter, home run. Rest of the game, pretty flawless. Again, if you're watching this and keeping track, Emerson Hancock is in the rotation because Bryce Miller seems to not be able to return until probably May, it sounds like. But it seems like Emerson Hancock is like, hey, I'm going to make a really tough decision for me not to be in the starting 5. So that was really good. Also, the bullpen was pretty good until this last game. And to be honest, the Mariners could have easily won all 3 of these series, all 3 of these games. In fact, all 3 of these series, I am correct. But going into game 2 here, let's just talk about game 2. It's going to be the Joe Adell game. I mean, absolutely, he's an absolute pain in the ass for the Seattle Mariners. We've seen him do it in the past couple seasons at the plate. I like to call him the Temu, Mike Trout, the poor man's Mike Trout. I mean, he absolutely comes alive against the Mariners. And then you're right. You were telling me as an Angels fan, you're not too on this guy. I look up at the scoreboard.
I like his offense, but his defense is questionable. You could argue he's one of the worst right fielders in baseball.
Really?
Yeah.
He certainly does not play like that against the Mariners.
Just because he can take his time watching a ball hit an elevated ball. He can jump up and make the play, but hit a line drive at him, rope a ball at him, and watch him squirm. He's not that effective when he has to react quickly.
Then what the hell was going on in game 2? I mean, of this series. I mean, 3 robberies and easily the catch of the year.
He's standing there. Waiting for the ball to come down. Look at Friday night. He had the ball hit to him, and he didn't handle it well. He didn't react properly to the ball on Friday night.
I'll have to go back and check that out. But 3 robberies and easily the catch of the year. I know we're only 10 games in, but this is going to be a tough one to overtake. The one down in right field off of J.P. Crawford, who has returned, and we were sitting in front of J.P. Crawford's family and fan section there down the first base line today. But J.P. Crawford, he hasn't gotten himself started this season, just coming back right now. A lot of pressure on him as well with the Colt Emerson. If you are not a Mariners fan, or you're just getting into these names of the prospects and the rookies that are coming up, it's very confusing. We have Cole Young, who's off to a great start this year. And then we have Colt Emerson. And of course, we had the great start by Emerson Hancock. And Colt Emerson is the number 1 prospect we have. Somebody's got to go. It's too confusing, especially as a host when you're trying to wing it on these names. But game 2, they still missed their shots in certain areas, but taking 3 home runs, and especially a 3-run home run away and winning a low-scoring game like that one hurt. I can't even go back and watch the wrap of the game. It hurt that much.
I heard in the next game, Joe Adell's just going to climb over the fence and sit in his seat and just wait for the ball to come down.
Well, there you go. If you say he has no range, that's the way. That's the way to do it. Cole Young, though, off to a hot start. In the offseason, a lot of people were wondering why we weren't going to bring back Jorge Polanco. We saw the contract that the Mets gave him. We saw Cole Young come up last year and do this. We've seen him hit over 400-foot home runs. We've seen him kill a ball in Philly. We know that he has those skills, and it's already on display this year. We've seen great defense out of him. He's had, even on some outs, some really good long at-bats. You and I today saw him play a ball, grab a ball there at second base, coming towards first base. It was, again, this game doesn't even get into extra innings if that happens.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and he comes up with the big 3-run shot right there. And again, the ends of the order has been doing it for the Mariners. The middle of the order, outside of Randy Arozarena, we can't say, hey, we expect him to have a whole bunch of bombs already. He's been doing his thing. But I feel like every time I think they're going to get out of it, you have these kind of performances. Cal Raleigh's just racking up these multi-strikeout games. So is Julio. Josh Naylor has not been the same. You'd think maybe it was the Marine layer in Seattle. Everybody was kind of making excuses for that. It was their opening homestand. Well, now we're down in Anaheim, a place that the Mariners usually put up big numbers. Similar to kind of how we saw today. We didn't see that in the first 2 games, But also, what about Detmers here in
I
Anaheim?
think Detmers looked great. He pitched well last year out of the bullpen, and then both of his starts he looked strong this year.
So he's off to a good start.
Yeah,
for the
I'm
Mariners.
happy with his performance.
And like I mentioned with Wu on Friday, I know I said maybe it was Saturday. I got my days mixed up here. 6 strikeouts in 7 innings. We saw Brash and Munoz, or Spire and Munoz, come in these series too. So the bullpen's looking pretty good, except for the exception of Ferrer. It's been very inconsistent. To be honest, he hasn't gotten the best defense behind him, but we have not seen that big swing and miss. So I'm hoping we could see something like that. One thing I do want to say about here in Anaheim, I gotta say, the food selections in here aren't all that great. You guys haven't had a crazy creation like the Mariners. They now have the ferry boat thing that's all the rage. The Mariners are going down to Texas. They have the taco sombrero. So was there any kind of weird creation? Because I wasn't seeing that around the park when I was
Panda Express.
the Panda Express.
Have you eaten yet?
Yes, that is the big addition here. I guess they have a Panda. Well, maybe they've always had a Panda Express. I don't know. But as far as the Mariners fans, I know that people are frustrated, freaking out. But we're 10 games into the season, and yeah, maybe it's starting to look like Cal Raleigh and Julio Rodriguez are going to be, annual slow starters. But we know what's going to come. Cal Raleigh, though, does not look like himself.
He really doesn't.
No, he's had a couple of clutch hits. Even today, he does have that clutch good luck. I think guys that are, perennial clutch guys.
He may be redesigning his game as a Punch and Judy.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of doubles this year. This inside out, pop up down the left field line when everybody's playing him to dead pull. He's gotten a couple doubles. He got a good hustle double today. Julio knocks him in with a broken bat single. Randy Arozarena knocks in the other one, but the Mariners just can't close the door. We also saw a situation there in the 11th where they ran down a bunt. Josh Naylor cleanly gets the ball, doesn't make the throw to third. I'm not sure if there was a play there.
There was no play.
Then just, you got to credit to him. You don't get to see that replay over and over when you're there, but that was a huge thing to move them over right there. Second and third, Mariners come in there and they try to walk the first guy, try to set up the first and second, looking for the double play, and Kurt Suzuki just rolls it on him. So what have you thought of Kurt Suzuki so far?
Oh, I'm glad that he's the manager.
Are you like?
I think it was very good. I liked Joe Washington too, but
Yeah, Ron Washington.
Ron Washington.
Yeah, he had the health reasons, and it kind of seemed like he felt like he was kind of shoved out. But also, the Angels are trying to.
Well, he had health problems, and I really don't even know. I never found they didn't specify what his health problems were, and I never even knew.
Well, I like Ron Washington, but I think Kurt Suzuki having some new blood in here is probably good.
Kurt Suzuki's a baseball man. He's very intelligent.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting to see Dan Wilson and his decision makings. We're now into technically year 3. Last year was his first full season. There's been a lot of questions about some of the moves he made in the postseason. Some can even say that A.J. Hinch in the Detroit series, even though the Mariners end up winning, he got out-coached there or managed there, and same thing in Toronto. We have seen some questionable bullpen management by him, but I don't think you can point at that so much in this series. And again, we're pointing at the bats of the Seattle Mariners. When is this breakout going to come? You know it's going to come. We just got to hang in there. But, after a week and plus 10 games, so a week and another weekend, the Mariners are now 2 games under 500. They're actually behind the Anaheim Angels, who are sitting at 500. And guess who's in first place? Out to a 6-3 start, the Houston Astros.
They need to go back to the National League.
Well, I think, I don't want to say these are must-win series, but the Mariners must win a series at some point. We had the split with the Cleveland Guardians. You had the tough series loss to the Yankees, and then even a tougher series loss here in Anaheim. On paper, yeah, you're looking at the Mariners, but we know how Anaheim plays. I'm already sick and tired of Anaheim. I mean, first day back down here this year, already got a walk-off in the books.
And you announced a couple innings previous that it would be a walk-off.
Yeah, I've said when I looked at the lineup, that's the thing about extra innings. If you don't get that run, especially if you're the road team, if you don't get that run or you allow the run after you only get a run, and then you start playing this back and forth game, it really matters, it feels like, where the lineup is going to be. And the Angels going into the 11th had the top of the lineup. The Mariners had the bottom of the lineups going in. Now, they did load up the bases, and Cal Raleigh struck out. As an Angels fan, I got to be feeling pretty good about this series, that it ends with a bases-loaded strikeout to Cal Raleigh, plus a ball that seemed like it should have been caught by Cal Raleigh to apply the tag. Haven't seen the replay of it, but it seemed like Randy Rosarena had a decent enough play there. It seemed like if the ball was played cleanly,
Looked
he could
like
have
the
got the
ball
tag.
got there on time.
Yeah, so I mean, as an Angels fan, I got to be feeling good. An organization that needs these things, especially at the beginning of the year. What's your concern about Trout going out?
Until we find out how bad he's hurt, then I'm not concerned. But we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah. Hopefully he's all right. We also Mariners lost Brendan Donovan in this series. As far as I know, it's day to day, but that's a big loss. That's pretty much the heart of your offense here. Tries to beat out a throw to first base, overextends his leg or his knee. We see that happen quite a bit in baseball. Unfortunately, it happens to Brendan Donovan. So then you have Luis Rivas now back in the lineup, where you're hoping he was going to be more of your depth guy. But the left side of the Mariners offense seems to be a bit of a question mark, even though, yes, JP's been there all this time. There's just, I know we keep talking about this, probably doesn't feel so great when you're on a contract year, and the guy, the heir apparent to you, has already got a $95 million 8-year contract extension when he hasn't played baseball, which, I mean, he's probably earned. We'll just have to see how this goes. Maybe it's a situation where they bring him up and they start playing him at third, but definitely needs some more stability defensively there on the left side as the season goes through. Again, we're out here in Angel Stadium in the parking lot. This is a quick one. Don't have the sheets in front of us because we're recording this right here off my phone, but I want to say thanks for liking, subscribing, and all that good stuff. And, if you go to In the Clutch Apparel, intheclutchapparel.com, you need some new gear. Go over there and put in the promo code Rye Bread and Mustard. Rye Bread, A-N-D, Mustard, all one word. No space bars, no caps, none of that needed. Also, if you like this, you want the street cred for rocking the rye bread, you hit up at simply.cora. That's at simply.cora. Hit her up on Instagram, hit her on the DMs, hit up Rye Bread Mustard. We'll help you out. We'll help you out there, mate.
We'll help you out, mate.
There you go. Right on. From here in Anaheim, it's Ryan Roland Smith here. You're Aussie. All right, we'll talk to you soon.